Give a state of the union.
Yeah.
Sam, last year you guys won the championship, and you also played your way into a 2 seed in the process. Just heading into this weekend, what are you looking to get out of your trip to Indy?
We're looking for the same thing that we look for every year. We're looking to win the Big Ten Tournament Championship. Our goals haven't changed because of our seed, because of losses in the regular season. We've all packed to stay through Sunday, and we all expect to play 4 games in 4 days, and that's what we're going down to do.
Go ahead.
Through the meetings with Purdue previously, you played pretty well at West Lafayette, and obviously the game here, you stepped off from the second half. They got size of the big man. They've got some tools at their disposal. How do you view playing them a third time? Things that might be, you think, even different than the first 2 weeks against them?
Well, anytime we play Purdue, we know it's going to be a battle. They're one of the toughest playing teams in the Big Ten. They're going to rebound. They're going to play in transition. They're going to, play hard, like I said. So we know that we have to bring our best basketball. We know that it's not going to be a walk in the park. Despite their record, we know that we're in for a 40-minute basketball game. But we have to execute. We have to come out and play our best basketball. Like you said, this is the 3rd time we played them. They're going to be no surprises. They know what we want to do. We know what they want to do. So it's just about executing.
You've gotten to Ohio State's gotten to Sunday 5 years in a row. And I know you haven't been here for 5, but does that put? I know some coaches really don't seem like they take the tournament seriously if they're in the NCAA tournament already. And I just wondered what Thad's approach is, and if you know any guys on other teams in the league who maybe that, or they've said something that they really don't approach it the same way you guys do.
I can't speak on any of the other teams in the league, but I know that Coach Mata approaches this tournament just like he approaches the other, 30-some games during the season. And that is that he wants to come out and play our best basketball for 40 minutes. He doesn't care about our tournament seeding. He doesn't care about the regular season that we had. He doesn't care about anything going on. He just wants to win the next basketball game that he's going out to play. And we're going to start with that with Purdue tomorrow.
And also, the last 2 years, how have you felt when you get to Sunday and you're playing your 3rd game in 3 days? And can you imagine what you might? I don't know if you've ever played 4 games in 4 days, especially on this level. But what has it felt like playing your 3rd game in 3 days, and how do you imagine you might feel this year?
It's been a little difficult. I remember last year when we played Wisconsin, the guys' legs were pretty heavy. There's a little bit of fatigue going on, but I still think I'm a young guy. I still remember playing 5 games in 8 hours in AAU. So I think we're in good condition. We have the players that can do it. I think we're tough enough to do it. If we're fortunate enough to play 4 games in 4 days, we will bring our best basketball on the 4th day.
Does Richardson mention anything during the off season or during the season when you're training that he's preparing you for moments just like this where you might have to play 4 days in a row?
Absolutely. He doesn't specifically mention the Big Ten tournament, talking about 4 games in 4 days, but everything that we do in June and July and August is geared towards March and hopefully April. Everything that we do early in the season, all the lifting that we do, all the conditioning that we do on the track and the sand pit, on the court, stuff like that, is geared towards getting us tough enough to play basketball in the later stages of the season when we're fatigued. So, we know that all the work that we've done during the summer is preparing us for right now.
Sam, when you think about what you guys need to do in tournament time to be successful, is Sunday it? Like when you look at the way you guys played against Michigan State, is that the blueprint, or is there anything that maybe still you thought wasn't exactly right on Sunday, or was that a pretty good example?
I think Sunday was a great example. We didn't play perfect on both sides of the ball by any means. Our offense could have been better. Our defense could have been better. but I think that we really fought for 40 minutes. They went on a few big runs in the second half, and every time they went on a run, we responded, we punched back, and that's just what we have to bring in the tournament. You know, we feel like we have the personnel in the locker room that we can beat any team in the country as long as we play hard and we play tough basketball, and I think that's what we did a good job of doing on Sunday versus Michigan State.
You were saying how, you know, it doesn't matter what your seed is or what your record is. You know, Coach Mata wants you guys to go play your best. Is there any difference in the idea that you guys have been such a high seed in the Big Ten tournament and the NCAA tournament? Is it any different when maybe you're not one or the two or the three? That can you take on a little bit of like an underdog role, or is there any kind of different vibe at all with you guys that maybe the regular season hasn't been perfect? Maybe the outside expectations for you guys maybe aren't as high as they have been. Is there any different feel for you guys?
No, I don't know. It's definitely obviously different playing this Thursday as opposed to just starting on Friday, but we don't listen to what anybody says outside of this locker room. We know what we have in that locker room. We know what we've worked so hard for all season and all off season. Now, at the end of the day, we're still Ohio State. You know, whatever the expectations are of us, we know what we're capable of doing. We know what we've done in the past, and we know what we expect to do this postseason. And that's all that we can focus on right now, and that's what we're going to do.
Sam, is there a different mindset now that for this week and for the following week, if you lose, you're done? I mean, not so much this week, but you lose and you don't play again for a while. And then after this week, you're done for the season.
Yeah, definitely. There's always a different mindset when you get to tournament time. You know that something small can end your season. You know, we worked so hard up to this point to put ourselves in a position to play an NCAA tournament, to play in the Big Ten tournament and whatnot. And we know that if we have a few bad minutes, if we have a bad half, if we don't bring our best basketball, our best effort, that our season could be over. So it's really important that we come out and play our best basketball, execute as well as we can, and really play hard for all 40 minutes.
Saying your offense is flowing like it's shown in the second half of this Minnesota times on Sunday. You got the real. What is specifically that you guys doing correctly to make it? So.
I think a lot of it has to do with just being aggressive on both sides of the ball. Being aggressive offensively, not necessarily waiting for something to happen, but really making an effort to make it happen. Being aggressive defensively so that we can get ourselves out in transition, get some easy buckets, and get ourselves into a rhythm. I think that's the biggest thing for us. When guys are just all out there making plays, that's when we're at our best.
For the first 15 games of the season, you guys have a lot more assists than you have in the next 15. Of course, that's the competition ramped up. Is sharing the ball, is that a stat you can look at and say, hey, we're doing here in this game, we're doing in this game?
Yeah, definitely. When we're sharing the ball, usually means we're getting out in transition. It usually means we have a good way about us on the offensive end. We have a pretty good rhythm about us. Not one guy isn't pounding it too much. One guy isn't trying to take his man one-on-one. We're really playing well in the flow of the offense and playing well in the system. So I think that's a kind of a good barometer of how well our offense is working.
Sam, having played in this Big Ten this year, what's your expectations just for this tournament league? I mean, you're the fifth seed, you're supposedly playing the worst team in the league, and it's Purdue. Almost a buzzer beater away from beating Michigan a couple weeks ago. They were in both games with you guys. Do you expect the unexpected? What's it going to take to get through this, I guess, at the end?
Well, we expect a tough game out of Purdue. It's always a tough game when we play Purdue. We don't care about their seeding in the tournament or any of that. We know that they're a good team, and that we expect a tough game whenever we play them. I'm sorry, Kraft. Maybe he moved my Gatorade. What was the second part of the question?
The league as a whole this year just seemed very difficult from top to bottom. And my point is Purdue being the last place team is kind of surprising. What do you expect? What's it going to take for anybody, whether it's you or whoever, to get through this thing and win?
It's gonna take them to play their best basketball. We have to play our best basketball for 40 minutes a game whenever we're out there. on both sides of the ball, and we feel that if we do that, we have a chance to accomplish what we want to get done.
Sam, we've seen players who make impacts in the regular season all of a sudden make a huge impact coming through postseason. What does it take to be that kind of guy and make that kind of leap into postseason play?
I think it's a bit of a mindset. You have to, you really have to work at it to play well in the postseason. You know, like we've mentioned before, it's at this point pretty much want to go home, and you want to play your basketball. You want to play your best basketball in the postseason, and you know, we have the talent to do it. Guys in this locker room have the talent to do it. It's just about going out and being tough enough to get it done.
Aaron, you guys have spoken all year about just how important it is to play defensively, defensively, excuse me. You guys are 7-3 down the stretch of the season. 2 of those losses, you guys allowed 70 points. But you're on top of the Big Ten in terms of defense. Do you have a benchmark for what you like to hold opponents to? Sometimes you guys have issues on offense. Is 70 points kind of the benchmark, or where do you want to keep people under?
No, I mean, we've never, and this is loud, we've never like sat down and said, hey, we need to hold people to this amount and we'll win the game. In the games that we've lost, we've really put a lot of pressure on our defense by, you know, continually putting ourselves in situations where we have to get stops. And, you know, Penn State and Indiana, I think we got to a point where, you know, we broke. You know, they had shots down the stretch and we could never come back from it. And some of that stems from our offense, you know, not putting the ball in the basket and continually, you know, allowing the pressure to build. But, you know, there's never a benchmark that we need to go to. I mean, you know, we've scored 46 points in a half and things like that. So, you know, we can put the ball in the basket, and hopefully we can find a way to do that.
Aaron, last year the Big Ten Tournament Championship really seemed to kind of be a benchmark for this team. Just heading into this weekend, what are you hoping to get out of your trip to Indy?
You know, hopefully we get to play a few games, and obviously we're in a new situation that we haven't been in since I've been here, or, you know, Sam has either. So, you know, it's just another opportunity to play basketball, and I hope we take it and make the most of it. You know, like Sam said, there's no more second chances. If you go out and play lackadaisical and you're not ready to go, you're going to go home, and no one likes to go home when there's still basketball to be played. So I just hope we can go and make the most of the opportunity.
You made an interesting comment on BTN the other night when they were talking to you, that we don't always get along, you said, but we're family. And I know that, you know, probably no team gets along all the time, but I wondered was there anything this season did not getting along cause the type of up and down season you had at all? And the second part of that question is, how are you guys getting along now?
No, I mean, there was never a big fight in practice that put a big divide or anything like that. I think, you know, as basketball players and as guys that have grown up in this program, if you want a practice that's a little chippy, you want people talking trash back and forth, you want that competitive edge to come out. But I think, in my time here, we've done a good job of putting that behind us once practice is over, and you know, you still bring it up and we still make fun and joke around with each other, but, you know, that's what it is, you know. So it's never been something that's carried over to a game. And we get along great, so there's that.
Ohio State's been to the championship game of this tournament, I think, 5 years in a row, and that means you play 3 games in 3 days at least. If you guys make it there this year, you have to play 4 games in 4 days. Just talk first of all about the grind. I mean, this isn't something you do the entire season and then you show up in one weekend and you're playing day after day after day. And then the idea that if you do make it, what would that 4th day be like? I mean, none of you have ever been through that at this level. Just what is this grind like, and what do you envision it could be like if you have to go to a 4th day?
I mean, it just reminds us, you know, of AAU times. Sam likes to bring up a fact when he played my AAU team once. He was in the losers bracket because he lost.
I didn't lose. We got to the tournament late and had to forfeit the fight.
Okay. And, you know, and once you get in the losers bracket, you got to play, you know, 3, 4, 5 games in one day just to get to the final.
Which
But I
we did.
and then they lost. But I think, you know, if we're fortunate enough to make it that far, I think the adrenaline, the excitement of making it that far would overcome any, you know, any being tired or anything like that. You know, it's at a kind of a point where you just got to suck it up and find a way to get the job done. And that's what it's going to be like if we are able to win tomorrow, and then if we're able to win on Friday. You know, you just got to keep going and, you know, put yourself behind the team goal.
Aaron, have you thought for a second that you were the defensive player of the year when you had third team coaches, all Big Ten? Does that, are you not getting any love in the Big Ten?
I don't care. I really don't mind. Obviously, that we play in a league where there's a lot of great players and a lot of great players that have on teams that have won more games than we have, and you know that's what it comes down to. So I don't really care. I know our guys on our team don't mind about it, don't care about it that much either. It's all about moving forward, and you know, hopefully we can, you know, if it's extra motivation for people, then that's fantastic. But you know, we can't dwell on any of that. You know, when I get older, I'm not going to remember what I got in the league. I'm going to remember what we accomplished as a team. So that's you know, that's at the forefront of our minds.
Hey, Aaron, how long did it take for this team to get that family-like relationship that you talked to as opposed to maybe previous teams? Was it maybe more of a process?
I wouldn't say we went through many you know, struggles this year as much. Obviously, with his class still being intact and being here for 3 years, and then Lenzel and I just kind of being the old men on the team. You know, we've been through it all, and you know, if you have 7 guys that have been together for 3 years, it's very tough to you know, have everything under control. But you know, we all get along. We're excited, and we are really a family. You know, we can joke around with each other, and Mark and Cam and Amadeo have done a good job of just kind of bringing their own little quirks into the mix and having fun with them.
Can I just follow up on that with Sam? And I should have followed up earlier. Why were you smiling when I asked Kraft the question?
Dan back there just told me that the question was coming, so I thought it was pretty funny. It was had nothing to do with how our team got along, any of that.
Okay.
All right.